The Garage and El Pelos 1. The Hairy One. It was a mechanic's shop where El Pelos worked the night shift. He would go in at 9 p.m. and leave at 5, 6 or 7 am, according to how much work there was. He would wash motors, do the cleaning and do some small repair jobs. His boss, Sergio, would do nothing. He was the boss. All he did was supervise the workers, and of course, make sure all the jobs were done right. He arrived late, around 12 noon, always smiling and polite, respectful and friendly. He was about 50 years old. El Pelos was about 40, and already going bald. The few hairs he had, he would grow long so he could comb them over and make a large ponytail. He was very tall and toothless, very likable and somewhat sarcastic. The main thing at the shop was they always had plenty of work. The other one, every day, come evening, from about 9 p.m., a part of the shop would turn into a gathering place where drinking, dining and conversation on May topics took place. Any friend could join in. We usually left around 2 or 3 in the morning. El Pelos would stay working by himself, with the company of a glass with his Cuba and a radio that barely worked, and of course, his always present cigarettes. Paco was nicknamed the treasure seeker. He had studied with a Japanese, at college level, the detection of metals of every type, including gold and silver, and he made a living by offering his services as a treasure hunter. He was very successful, and several times he did find treasure, not for himself, but for other people. Knowing this, a man who was very anxious to search for a presumed treasure hired him, since he was absolutely sure there was hidden money in his commercial property. The shop was about to be vacated and had already been rented again. Finally the day arrived. The shop was now empty. It was about 5 by 7 meters and was part of an old building built late in the 19th century, so Paco got busy with the job of searching all over the floor and the 4 walls with his equipment, but the machine kept signaling only in the direction of Sergio's mechanical shop, located exactly next door to this shop. Paco and his client decided to dig in the floor exactly next to the wall in the direction of Sergio's shop. They made a large hole but did not find anything. The metal detector was probably signaling towards the mechanical shop because of the large amount of scrap metal piled on the floor there. When Paco and his client did not find anything, they opened the doors of the business to remove the rubble left from the digging, and Sergio came over to talk to Paco. Without any secrecy, Paco told him they were looking for a treasure but that in fact all the readings were towards the mechanical shop. He said there were some very weak readings indicating the presence of gold, but the probabilities that there was actually any gold were very few. Sergio was left with the uncertainty, with many questions, so he decided to rent a metal detector and search. He wanted to find out what was in his shop. In a few days he got the detector and one Sunday he tested it all over the old place. But I was the same, all he found was scrap metal and a weak signal for gold. That was enough for him and he got really excited. He would look for his treasure later. He told all his friends his experience and of course there were the most diverse opinions. El Pelos only smiled. The shop was also a remnant from the early 19th century, part of an old manor house built with adobe and quarry stone and had a floor made of dovetailing strips of wood black with age and wear. The only new part of the building had a concrete floor, that was where the cars were parked.